Hello. Let's just see if we're running. It's always hard to find the link. Yes. Live on Facebook, definitely. YouTube's normally a little bit further behind. Let's have a look. Yeah, that one's running too, which is good. Hi, Grace. Grace is on YouTube. So I'm just going to share this to the Fairy Hugs store group so that they know that we are live. So that's the YouTube link. I better put the Facebook link on because some people don't like YouTube. There we are. I've got to find myself again now. Oh, give me strength. Where's it gone? Oh, for heaven's sake. Oh dear, this drives me nuts. There we are. Share. Copy link. Give you a running commentary of what I'm doing. Just that. So if there's any way you can share it too, that'd be lovely. I'm just putting it onto the Fairy Hugs store. So I've already done the YouTube link and there is the Facebook link as well. So if you're not already a member, do go on Facebook and join the Fairy Hugs store group. You need to ask to join. It's a private group, and the thing is that there's loads of inspiration on there, and you don't always get to see all of the samples, especially this time. Let's give you something to look at. It's just looking at my hands. Yeah, especially this time, because the US design team samples won't be at the Create and Craft Studios. So the only way to see them is, well, there's various groups that they're in, but the main group is your Fairy Hugs store group. There's also the Fairy Hugs Facebook page as well, which is just the company Facebook page. But this is the group. This is where all the inspiration goes in there, and we love you to share your makes in there as well. Lovely June, hi June, has been sharing some of her makes in there. Now Sue, I know you've got some of these stamps. Judy, you've got some of these stamps, definitely. So I would like you ladies to also share your makes, and I don't want you to feel that yours aren't good enough, because they absolutely are, and everybody brings something different to the table, so it's always good to see your makes. Everybody has different ideas, and there is always something by somebody that somebody likes, because we're all different. So hi to everybody. Bonnie's on there. Bonnie's on Facebook, if I've got the colours right. Yeah, blue's Facebook. So I've got blue and red comments. I can see everybody's. Chrissy's here. Sandy's here. Alice. Christine. Bev. Hi, Bev. Alison. Hiya. See, Alison is a great example of somebody that's been sharing her work, and twice now she's been on the design team, and so that means you get free stamps, and sometimes free papers, and sometimes free stencils, so it's all good. Hi Kathleen, Joanna, Hi everybody. So you can see from this picture here, that's really I put that on there. There is the album on the Fairy Hug Store Facebook group that I've just told you about. You can just go into media and then there's a drop down for the albums, and we've already started putting our makes in there for you to look at, and as we share them there'll be more in there. From the last release there's almost 100 samples for you to have a look at from the second anniversary release, so which is a wealth of inspiration, so it's definitely worth having a look at. So yeah, I wanted to share that because there's a lot of stamps. As always, there's a lot of stamps, but they all work together as a cohesive collection, and the theme is Winter Wonderland, so it's kind of winter scenes. Obviously things like penguins aren't just for Christmas, they're all year round, so you know, you can use them for your winter birthdays. Obviously when you're at the zoos and things, they're there all the time, aren't they? So they're just lots and lots of fun. I want to show you a few samples by the design team. That's a few of mine. Because as I said, the US design team their samples won't be in the studio. So I'm just going to go through them quite quickly so we can get some demos, and I'll probably revisit some of them as well. So these are some of Bonnie's. Obviously Bonnie's work is just absolutely tremendous. It's just a major wow. You can see there's a castle in there, and that castle is from a previous release. That's from the Love collection, I believe. This one Bonnie's just shared, which is just absolutely stunning. That fairy's called Era, I believe, E-I-R-A. And she's got the most beautiful wings there, and Bonnie's done like a surround there with the snowflake flowers, which is a new one, but the little birdies are from Woodland Flight from last time, and she's standing on a stamp set called Icebergs, and we've got a new sentiment there called Winter Wonderland. This is Paloma, and she's on the icebergs and using it more as stepping stones. So Paloma's sat on the unicorn, and the unicorn's called Quilo, Q-U-R-I don't know. I'm stumbling here. Where's Quilo? Where's he gone? I've got him somewhere. Hang on, let me get him for you, and I'll spell him. He's a bit of an unusual. Yeah, it's Q-U-I-L-O. I knew the Q-U bit, which is obvious. He's just beautiful, and Paloma's gorgeous as well. Is a fantastic new release, Alison. Absolutely, there's a lot of stamps. Yeah, I think there's over 40. So here, see, Bonnie's used the Christmas word tree, which was from last year's winter release, with a couple of the new snowmen and some snowflake flowers, and the winter strings there up above. We've had musical strings in the past and they've been very popular, so this time we've got the snowflake strings as well, and I believe those are probably ballerina dwellers that are dancing around there as well. Bonnie's used, if you've got your die cuts, if you've got something like a snowball or snow globe die cut, you can cut yourself and make yourself a template, and that's exactly what Bonnie's done here. And she's used one of the new stencils in the background, which is called, I believe, Woodland Twigs. Winter Twigs. That was close. And again, the snowflake flowers, and I think that's Frosty the snowman. Look at this. So, you know, I love my pattern building. I love my Mama Makes Rotate Mate. But obviously Bonnie's in the US, and she's made her own kind of template, and she's got one of the new snowmen in there, and that one is called Jack. So you can see he's holding a broomstick. We've got a new, we always have a cottage of some sort. This is the Winter Chalet. It is quite a game in the new stamps. I have some news for you in a minute as well, some quite exciting news. Well, I think it's exciting. So this is on craft card, actually. Bonnie's done it on craft card, so she's not used a paper. And within the Winter Chalet, you get the chalet, you get the clock, and you get the tree. That's all one stamp. So effectively, you've got a scene there within that one stamp, good to go. You know, that's a card in itself, isn't it? If you're doing Christmas cards. Then you've got the sort of snowflake swirl, I think it's called. Oh, blinking egg. Frozen swirl. I'll get there in the end. I'm so sorry. Frozen swirl, and Bonnie's added a bit of white pen there, which looks absolutely fantastic. The little snowflakes are from a little stamp set called Snowfall. And we've got some Northern Lights. That's a new stamp set. This fairy here with the beautiful snowflake dress, she's called Crystal, and she does benefit with a little bit of glitter. She's just absolutely beautiful. And then you've got one of the polar bear family. There's 4 polar bears in that set. And of course we've got, lots of people know we've got the dancing penguins, we've got ice cubes, hi Caroline, and we've got the fairy igloo, and again Bonnie's used the Northern Lights and the Winter Wonderland. Oh, that's my iPad gone down. So a lot of you in the UK will actually remember this particular die set that Bonnie's used, the Winter Wonderland. That's a paper cuts die set, and I think it's wonderful the way that Bonnie's used the dancing penguins with that, and she's also used one of the new stencils, the fairy snowflakes, at the top. Obviously she's used a bit of stencil paste of some sort through that, and so they work really well with the Winter Wonderland. So if you've got any of the paper cuts or any other manufacturer's dies, think about, especially if they've got words on them already, think about having the dancing penguins dancing along them. That's going to work really, really well. And if I just go back to the sample I showed you of mine, this one here where the dancing penguins are stood on individual ice cubes, you could actually put Merry in there or Happy in there and stamp Christmas if you wanted to. You could have somebody's name in there. Obviously, if you wanted, if you've got a longer name, you can have like a long DL card. So there's quite a lot that you can do with the penguins. They can be, you know, take over from the frogs, and they can be all over the place. This is rather beautiful. This is from Steph in the US. And Steph has made this because she was teaching in a class. And it's like a multiple fold card. So she's got the sleeve around it, which has got the Winter Wonderland, and you've got era stood there on the front, and then when you open it out, we've got this wonderful scene here. So you can see that we've got, hi Emma, hi Chrissy, you can see that you've got some of the snowmen there. You've got the fairy rainfall stencil, which has been out for a while now, is going to work really, really well with this collection. We've got some walruses in there. We've got that fairy's called Iceland with the snowflakes in the wings. And then we've got the ice cave just coming in at the side there. So yeah, Steph's card, this is a real showstopper. We're going back to Bonnie again here. Bonnie's done some videos which she's shared to the Fairy Hug Store, and it's on the I think it's the Fairy Stamper YouTube channel, isn't it, Bonnie? And she's gone through the 4 latest new paper pads. When we release the stuff on Create and Craft tomorrow, when it's on my website as well tomorrow night, there is a new paper pad called Frost Flight. And Bonnie's has made a project from the Molten Ridge, the Water Shine and the Misty Whisk, which were out last month, but they haven't all been on the TV. So she's combined the new release with the paper. So this is from Molten Ridge, and this Molten Ridge rather, and this is Jasper, the dragon. There's just one dragon in this release, and you've got the ice cave there, and it is possible to extend it. I've done that. I'll show you that very briefly. That is extended, so you can see that's fatter than the one that Bonnie's done, so you can actually mask it and extend it quite easily. And then Bonnie's used sentiment from an existing release. So that's from the Molten Ridge paper pad. Then this is from the Water Shine paper pad. So you've got this kind of alcohol ink base there. And I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I want you to see these samples, because obviously you can see what you can do with stuff. Yes, this is from the Water Shine at the bottom, and Bonnie's used the Fairy Snowflake stencil on there, and she's just torn some of that. And so that's I believe that's the reverse of the Water Shine. I haven't got a Water Shine up here with me. Bonnie there is giving you on Facebook, she's giving you the links. So there's video channels, Fairy Stamper or the Fairy Hugs channel. There's the two YouTube channels. So I believe the top there, it's either from Winklebush or it's from the other side of Water Shine. I can't 100% say, but you've got Paloma there. That sentiment is called Braver. And then you've got the pine cluster stamps there. So all those pines are in one stamp there, which is rather lovely. This is from the Frost Flight paper pad, and we're using the Magical Hollow, which was out of the Enchanted Dies release back in June. And the little owl is called Ollie. He's from this release. And we've got the Smallest Thing sentiments. I mean, lots of people love the Fairy Hug sentiments, and I think this is going to be no exception. And I don't know if you can see, there's like little spots around the edge there, and that's from a new stencil called Swirling Snow. There's 3 new stencils in this release. So those are Bonnie's. Then this is one of Steph's with the Walrus family and the Polar Bear family. This is one of Anne's with Era and Ollie ×2 and the Smallest Things. This is one of Meg's. And another one of Meg's. Isn't that beautiful? So remember your embossing powders. So these are embossed in white embossing powder with the trees are called Rugged Pines. There's 3 different sizes of them. Oh no, sorry, Nathan's just showed me I've bought the wrong food for him. Never mind. He's not going to be very happy. Anyway, yes, so we've got the Rugged Pines, and they're in 3 different sizes, and you've got one of the little polar bears there. They look like they just can't do anymore. They can't walk anymore. They've just got to sleep. And here's another one embossed with the pine cluster, and one of the smaller polar bears, and one of the I think that's Frosty. Yeah, that's Frosty, the snowman. And Meg does do quite a lot of fussy cutting here, and you can see that the dancing penguins are just going to be a massive hit, and they do go really well with the ice cubes. Here's another one with the fairy igloo as well, and you've got Quilo, and that's Iceland, the fairy, and that's the Fairy Gate, which is from a release a couple of years ago actually. So it's one of the earlier releases, and the winter strings on the top. And here's another one of Meg's. I love that one. And again, using with dies, just adding a stack of the ice cubes. And another one with the Rugged Pines and the snowmen. Another Steph, again, we go back to Steph. And this is very simple. This is from the Tumble Shine paper pad. And there's another one. This is from Anne. So think about, you can use them for Christmas cards, absolutely. And if you there's lots of little dies. I know Tutor Designs do one with the little Santa and the reindeer. So there's quite a few of those around. We've got Jasper here. You can just about see the Northern Lights in the background, so they work really well. And splitting the sentiment up with one of the polar bears. And again here, this is one of, I think this is Anne's, not sure, but you can see, oh no, this is one of Art Angels, I beg your pardon. I think, I beg your pardon if I get it wrong. So we've got the Northern Lights there. That's gonna, these are gonna work very well with the new Frostflight paper pad, and the Winter Chalet and the Rugged Pine cluster in there. This is one of Steph's. That's really cool, isn't it? Really works really well. And again, that's another one of Steph's with Era and the Fairy Rainfall. I'll just show you just a couple more. This is one of Anne's with the Winter Chalet, and look at those Northern Lights there, and that Frozen Swirl where it's beautiful, doesn't it, in stamped and embossed in the white. This is one of Steph's, using the Ice Cave and the Walruses and the icebergs. One more, Quilo and the Rugged Pines. So there's loads of samples I've shown you there. I know I've taken 20 minutes to show you those, but at least you've seen them, because obviously, as I say, the US design team samples aren't going to be on the TV, and it's rare that you get to see 20 minutes worth of samples anyway, isn't it? Art Angel's samples are going to be there, and my samples are going to be there as well. So, right, so let's crack on and actually do some demonstrating. And while I'm doing it, I'm going to actually give you some news as well. We are going to start quite simple, I think, but we're going to do a load of masking. Everybody all right? Right, so this paper is from the new Frost Flight paper pad. Because it's so new, I didn't get a full paper pad. I've only got a few sheets left. But these are quite muted tones. We're going to have, on the show, we're going to have Frostlight and Frosty Lashes. Frosty Lashes has been out for a while, and it's lots and lots of blue tones, which is obviously going to be absolutely wonderful for anything wintry, isn't it? Because it's all shades of blue, although we've got some extra colours in there as well. The Frost Flight is, I think, I would say, is a little bit more muted, although there is some vibrant colours in there. You can see we've got some reds and some yellows in there as well. But you've got quite a few explosions of colour, which are going to be quite good to use with the Northern Lights. But of course, you can actually ink the Northern Lights as well. I don't have many left because I only got half of the pad anyway, but you can see they've got this kind of texture on them as well. Like I say, see Bonnie's video, because Bonnie will show you them all on the Fairy Stamper or the Fairy Hugs YouTube channel. So like I say, I've got a few left, not many, and we are going to use one. We're going to use the one that's got green and this, because I thought that looked quite frosty down below, so that's going to give us something to kind of work on initially. And I am going to use the new Swirling Snow stencil, which I should have hopefully we will have them. I ought to tell you now. Right, okay. So tomorrow I'm going to go to the studios at Create and Craft, but I'm not the demonstrator because I've retired. Leslie Lakin has stepped down. It wasn't for her. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And a very good friend of mine called Tanya, I won't pronounce her surname because I cannot, and after 10 years I still haven't sourced out her surname. Yes, my very good friend Tanya is going to demonstrate for Fairy Hugs. It will be her first ever appearance on TV, and so, you know, be kind to her. She's never ever done anything like that before. I've seen a book that she's made with the stamps, and there's lots of inspired ideas with it. So I think she's going to be absolutely fine, but I'm just going there to support her. I will, just in case Tanya hasn't got round to it, I will ink through these so you'll be able to see them properly at the studio. But I'm not planning to go on air unless they force me, but I'm not planning to. Okay? Yes, good luck to Tanya. Yes. She has been in the industry for quite a long time. She was a sales rep for Creative Expressions. She knows products. She's a very good crafter as well, which is good. So she can do both, which is excellent. Okay, so yes. So we're going to do a stack of ice cubes. But what I want to do is I don't want to have the stencil block, you know, interfering with my ice cubes. So we're going to just start our stack. So let's go in, get on with it, Julia. I hope you got all afternoon. I've had a bit of a pig of a morning. But good news, people, we've exchanged contracts on both purchase and sale, or sale and purchase. So everything is moving. So let's go. Let's go with this, the trio first. And I think we'll start off should we start? Let's start off there, because I'm going to put another one to the left of it. So we're going to do a little bit of masking, and it's got like a puddle underneath it as well. So I think we'll start there. Faff, 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 faff. I'm going to do it in grey. I'm going to do it in the Morning Mist. She will have best products to create magic. She definitely will. Yeah, well, they're not going to. I'm only there as an emergency and support. That's why I'm going. Do you think I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning if I didn't want to? Well, I don't want to. I definitely don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I thought I'd done that. Right, so let's stamp the first one. So this is Morning Mist Grey, just so that it's not so in your face. And we've got these wonderful ice cubes, okay? So I've got a whole load of masks that I've done, and I've used the Woodwear Mask It sheet. And we're going to pop our first mask over the top. Have used them, but I tend to put them back on the carrier sheets if I don't, so I don't lose them. Right, so we're going to have one there and cut it ever so slightly inside the line, and then we're going to stamp another one. Where's my bit of acetate? We're going to stamp another one beside it. Let's move that over a little bit. This was me trying to figure out what to do when I got back from the bank. Here we go. So we're going to have another one next to it. Oh, I'm not packed up. Caroline saying her son was supposed to be moving, and they're all packed up. No, I'm not packed. I need to get some work done on it. The completion isn't till next week. My mum's completing tomorrow, and that's a sale, and the purchase is completing next week, but I'm not moving next week. Right, so we've got a second one. So this is going to go over here, but because we've masked, it's going to look like it's slightly behind it. So we're going to build a tower. I find it quite therapeutic doing this. Now, in an ideal world, you would let your... What's that doing there? In an ideal world, you would have your ink dry a wee bit, but it's not an ideal world. So we're going to just pop this on top. I'm going to make sure that it's just on the inside of that line. And then we're going to get one of the singles, because in the stamp sets you've got your stack with a little bit of water, and then you've got a single as well. These are like, it's like building blocks. So we're going to just pop one at a slight angle, make sure that it is overlapping the one underneath, and we're going to build this. So this is get off. This is the block that's going to go underneath. Obviously the stamp's sticky. And we're going to stamp this one. Where's my ink pad? There it is. And this is one of those things that you won't see it properly until it's all kind of revealed. Then I've got some little masks as well, of the individual ones. And that's going to go on there, like so. And then we're going to go back to the trio. And then I don't want the water this time, so we're just going to have it so that it's like so. And this will probably pick up the mask. If I don't press too hard, it might not. Win-win. I will need a removal man. more for my business than my crafty stash, I suppose. No, I wouldn't be able to get all my crafty stash in my car. It's mainly to do with my website that I need removals. The ice cubes are very easy to cut out. Yes, Bonnie's saying that the ice cubes are really easy to cut out, and they are. I know Meg doesn't seem to do a lot of fussy cutting, but I reckon she's got a machine that does hers. Okay. So there's another layer. That's how far we're going up. Now we could add, see, this is the good thing about your masks. You can actually put it so that you know, if you wanted to, you could have another one on top. And I think I quite like that. So I think I am going to put a single on top as well. So in order to do that, I've got another mask. It's quite handy. While your stamp's dirty, you might as well stamp a few, and then you've got all that you might ever need, really. So this is going to go there, like so, and then we're going to have another little one. So I want to leave them all in place, because remember, I want to put my stencil over the top, but I don't want to... What am I doing? I don't need that. I'll need that in a minute. Remember, I'm going to put my stencil. I don't want my stencil to interfere with my ice cubes. Let's put that on there. So we'll have one just like that at the top. Always good to have an extra little bit of acetate. So that's, hopefully I'm not too high and I can actually get a penguin on the top. I should be able to. Right, so that's all my ice cubes. I mean, obviously you can have a couple down below if you wanted to. So, I mean, we might do that actually. Let's have a couple down below. I'll just put one there. See, it's just evolving. We're just changing things as the mood takes me. Because we could have some lesser penguins stood on the single blocks, and the captain penguin stood on the high block. That's all right, Judy. Yeah, you can always catch it on, it's easier to find it on YouTube than it is to find it on Facebook. So that's what I would recommend. So that's going on there. Then we're going to put another one. Hopefully it's not too dirty. Put another one just there next to it. And this will be the last of the ice cubes. You get lots of different looks from these. Lots of different scenes, lots of different stories. Right, so let's put that away. So that's your ice cubes. Definitely a go-to. We need a mask on these two here as well, so that my stencil doesn't interfere. Now I'm not going to mask off my penguins because I've only got a couple of them cut out. So we might have dots on their bellies, but we might not, who knows. Right, this is going to go on here, and then one more. Oh, it is. Okay, so let's get our stencil out now. And we will go for kind of a blue shade. All mine are a bit blue now. I've trimmed the card down so that it's a little bit smaller than the stencil. So it's actually 5.5 inches square, as opposed to 6 inches square, because my stencil's not quite that big. And I want distress. I don't want distress oxide because that's just me. I don't want Enchanted Mariner. Oh, the new colour of distress. I've put pre-orders on my website. So if you're interested, the new colour gets revealed by Tim on his website. Not on his website, on his YouTube channel. UK time is 5 PM on the week on Saturday, which is the 29th. So let's have, decisions. Let's have Stormy Sky. It might not look like Stormy Sky because there's already blue on here, but we'll go for Stormy Sky. Yeah, stock hopefully will be here around about the 1st of November, we think. Not sure. So we're just going to have this swirling around in the background. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, just adds a little bit to it. And I tend to go for distress in case I'm stamping on top. It's just what I prefer. We've all got our little preferences. This is a super stencil. So you don't need to pay much attention where the ice cubes are because they're masked. There we go. It's cool, isn't it? Oh, the sun's come out. That's lovely. Right, so we'll do our reveal in a second. That's my Stormy Sky. Uncharted Mariner hasn't been in stock at my suppliers for absolutely ages, but I don't know whether they'll get some in this week when they get not this week, next week when they get the new one. Or whether we will have to wait a little bit longer. I've flagged it so they email me when it's available, but it's been like forever. I sold so many of those. You can never tell because you don't know what the colour is, so you never know how many to order really. It's just guesswork. Right, let's get these masks off and we'll be able to see that we've got nice clean ice cubes. So we've just got the backing paper behind. I think that looks a mess, but that's got a mask on it still. That's better. Cool. I'll show you. That's a right old stack of ice cubes, isn't it? Obviously you could do, you know, your glue in the background if you wanted to, but we're just keeping this one really simple. You don't want to watch me put all these away, so I'll just leave those to one side and I'll do that later on. Out of the way. Right, let's go back into my stamping platform and we'll have some penguins. So we definitely want a king of the castle. Definitely. So there's 5 penguins. Bonnie's saying, she's on Facebook, she's saying that Stormy Sky works well with this paper, which is what I've just used. Faded Jeans, which is close to Stormy Skies anyway. Chips Sapphire and Salvage Patina, they all work with this paper. Yeah, it is a really lovely colour on Uncharted Mariner. So yeah, there's 5 dancing penguins, and they're in various different poses. I have done, I don't know if you've seen, I've been playing with my Mama Makes, and I have done a little kind of bit pattern building with a couple of them, and they are just such fun. There's just so much that you can do with the penguins. They're just fabulous. So we're going to have, let's think, I think we might have this one looking quite smug on the top, because I think he does look quite smug. And I wonder if we can have one actually which way should we can probably we can have one just coming off of that side there, like that, because that grey should disappear. And let's see, we can have one perhaps down here, like so. He's going to have a spotty belly. It's a different type of penguin. We can have that one who's going to climb up that side there. And could we get that one in? Let's see. Let's might swap that one over so we can get that one there. So the paper doesn't take a lot of water, so if you're doing this on a watercolour card, then it's easy to use your water brush and get rid of the spots in the belly, but I don't mind them too much. Obviously you could just fussy cut them because they're not difficult to cut out, and you can just pop them on individually like Meg has done. Who wants these? Emma? Sorry, the sun's shining on my yes, Emma wants the dancing penguins. So we're going to have all 5 of them. I'm going to do these in black, which is the Nocturne. Move the grey out of the way. I have to stop myself from using the wrong ink pad. So these will pop a little bit more than the ice cubes. Mucky pop. I can't be doing with this on here. Right. Might need to do them twice because they're nice. We want them nice and black. The paper from Fairy Hugs is actually 216 GSM. I didn't position him very well, did I? So it's really a lightweight cardstock. It's very good quality. It takes pens and inks and things like that. The only thing is that you can't necessarily move the colour around too much because it will take some of the surface off. But that's the only thing really. It is kinder to you as a stamper than the watercolour card, because it doesn't suck the ink up. So you quite often you'll find that, you know, unless you're like me and you like things nice and dark, you will only need to stamp things once they've been kind of used a couple of times. Which way are we going? This way. So there's our dancing penguins. Are we all right with this light? Let me just see if I can just adjust the lines a wee bit. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yes, that's better. It was torrential rain earlier on. Absolutely chucked it down. And it was so dark, I thought, oh, I'm going to have the light on in my crackling. But it's not now, the sun's out. That's the UK weather for you. They are going to be just as much fun as the frogs and the bunnies. So let's have the, let's think, shall I have the winter? I don't know if I want the Winter Wonderland actually. I might use the Winter Wonderland on something else when I haven't got so much space. Let's have this one. Let's have Field of Snow. This says, the future lies before you like a field of snow. Be careful how you treat it, for every step will show. See, penguins, you should take heed of that. I mean, obviously you can colour in your ice cubes if you want to. Bonnie's done some really nice colouring in. Let me see if I can find it. Here, so you can see a little bit of extra colour. Looks absolutely fabulous on the ice cubes. And Meg's done a lot of nice colouring as well on her ice cubes too, so you can absolutely do that. obviously I'm not going to right now. Let's just see if we can get this sentiment straight, and then we can go on to something else. So it's just a bit of fun. You can imagine, can't you, if you've got kids or grandkids, how much fun they're going to have. I mean, I don't think it's not too late for Christmas cards. You absolutely can use these at Christmas. But like I say, winter birthdays, it's going to work really well. And there is a lot in the collection that you can use all year round. I mean, trees you're going to use all the time, aren't you? So it's only really, I think it's only really snowflakes that you're going to use just in the winter. You can always get I don't know, if there's like a sun hat type embellishment, you could use that with the penguins. That would be good fun, wouldn't it? Putting a sun hat and sunglasses on them. Bonnie. Just saying. I'd like a sun hat and sunglasses for the frogs and the bunnies as well, actually. So if we pop that onto a piece of blue card, then that's gonna be your first one. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Just love it. Obviously, if you couldn't live with the spots on the penguin or the bit of ice cube there, which shouldn't be there, then obviously you can just fuzzy cut them out and they'll be good to go. So there's your first one. While I'm resetting, I'm going to put some more samples in front of your face so that you can see some more. So this is one of Art Angel's samples. They will be at the studio, and just to kind of prove how, I suppose, inspiring this collection is, so I'm just cleaning my fingers. Art Angel's she's done over 40 samples. There's over 40 pictures anyway. I think I've done over 20. There's only samples from myself and Art Angel going to be at the studio, as well as obviously Tanya will have her storybook that she's done. Yeah, I think accessories for the dancing friends would be super too. Right, so what have we got here? Right, so for another little pile of stamps. Right, so this is from the Frosty Lashes paper pad, and you can see we've got kind of yellowy tones on this one, mustard tones as well, so we're going to put that on white and then on blue. And for this one I do have a plan. So for this one, we're going to use the Ice Cave. Now, what is very interesting, actually, and I hadn't thought about it, and there's always something new to learn from other people, which is absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure Tanya won't mind me sharing this at this point. Obviously, the Ice Cave is meant to be used that way up. It's a cave, and as I said to you, you can extend it. By doing a little bit of masking, you can move it over and make the pillar bigger. Obviously, if you've got one of those gadgets where you can do mirror stamping, you can have it so that it goes both sides. I haven't, and I can't be bothered to use a gel plate to do it, so I'm not doing it. But that's the way that you'd normally use it. But obviously you could mask off and you could just use that area if you wanted to, or you could just use these. I know Art Angel has just used that kind of area on the card there so that it falls off, so you've just got icicles coming down. But what Tanya's done is she's actually used it this way up, which is absolutely brilliant. Let me just fetch this off. It might be less clear if I just use the one carrier sheet. There we go. So she's used it this way on the bottom, so it looks like a really spiky landscape, and that works too. In fact, what she's done is she's made a flap and she's got things behind it. Her book is really great, so I will encourage her to show her book tomorrow on the shows as well. So that's a really good idea, isn't it? So, but the plan is that we're going to have it up here somewhere. We're also going to use the icebergs. Now remember, the icebergs can be used as stepping stones, as Bonnie's done here, as well as things for animals to sit on as well, like Steph's done there. So I'm doing a lot of because I'm trying to think what I'm doing as well. So there we go again. So we've got a pair of icebergs. We're going to use those. And because this is blue, I'm thinking that this is going to be somewhere that the icebergs are actually floating on. And we're going to use one of the fairies. We've got Icelyn. Now, Icelyn is the fairy that's got snowflakes in her wings. Let me just fetch that off so you can actually see. So let's put her on here. So she's got snowflakes in her wings, which is really unusual, isn't it? So the idea is that she's going to be on one of these. Don't know which one yet, but she's going to go on one of them. So she's on a stepping stone. Now we could have another one of these icebergs perhaps here, and we could have one of the little walruses on as well, because the walrus family has got 2 sizes, and there's a right and a left of each size. So it's really fabulous to be able to you know, have them on an iceberg. So we could do that, or what we could do is actually make this on a bit of land, and we could put some flowers on there. Don't really know where I'm going. We're going to probably use this braver sentiment that says, remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. Oh, another great sentiment. So let's crack on and let's actually do some of this. So I think we'll get the ice cave on first. Go, there's the smashing of the camera as per. Have to do it at least once in every live demo. Icelyn is very pretty. All the fairies are really pretty. Where's my stamp? There's my stamp. Right, so we're going to have the ice cave over here. I think we're going to go just off of the page just a wee bit, and we will have a bit of a gap at the top, I think. Or should we have it right up? Let's have it right up. So in which case, I'm going to learn my lesson. If we're having it right up, I'm going to swing this all round so that I can definitely butt my card or my paper right into the corner. So if it moves, I'm good. So a number of times it's moved and scuppered me. That's where we're going to have it. It's a beautiful sentiment, isn't it? People were saying on Facebook, I think it was, yeah, Facebook, how lovely the fairy hug sentiments are, and they are. They didn't do them to begin with when I first started working with them. They didn't do them, and so you ended up using sentiments from other manufacturers, and which is fine. You absolutely can, but you know, sometimes it's nice to use ones from them. So we're going to go with the Morning Mist again, which is the grey. So the shows tomorrow on Create and Craft are at 9 AM and 3 PM. There's a humongous gap between them because they're doing their crafting live event in Peterborough. So they've got an outside broadcast unit at the showground. So I think they're live from the show, the showground at 1 PM, which was our original time. So yeah, we've got a long gap. I might not be there all day, but we'll see. So I've got a few things going on tomorrow, including my stock arriving. My stock is arriving of the new collection tomorrow when I'm not here. So that'll be interesting, won't it? So the stock will go live on my website. Look at that. Perfect. First time. Absolutely perfect. I know I've got mucky stuff here, but that's absolutely perfect. yeah, so yeah, the stock goes live on my website at midnight tomorrow night, and you'll find it. My website is here, and you'll find it if you just go onto the brands tab, then you'll find them, or you can just go into new products and you'll find them there as well. And so providing Nathan answers the door, I will have the stock. Otherwise, I believe they'll try to redeliver on Monday, and I'm here on Monday, so that's fine. That's what the man told me anyway, so we should be all right. Just bear with, and I'll get the orders out as quickly as I can. So there's your ice cave, and we're going to play around with the icebergs now. So I can see where I'm going. I'm just going to go the proper way now. The stamps, if you're outside of the UK, as we're doing this live a bit later in the day, I know we've got some viewers from the US. No, we're not having a midnight party. I'll be well tucked up in bed at midnight. Thank you, Bonnie. Shall we have one down there? I think we will have a walrus on there. Let's have a look. Yeah, they'll also be available if you're in the US. You'll be able to get them from Fairy Hugs as well directly, and they do worldwide shipping. There are stockists elsewhere in the world, so you should be able to find them somewhere. Okay, let's have a couple of icebergs and see how they look. And I think we do these in grey as well, because it's more of an icy colour than the black. And then we can do the fairy in, I might do her in blue actually, dark blue rather than black. I don't want them to be really dark. You can just see them. There they are in the paper. And should we have them like a stepping stone? So let's have this one again. We'll go off the page a bit. So I'm going to learn my lesson, go around this way. Always remember to turn your work if you need to. So let's have another one just there. Perhaps, or up a bit. We can have it like that. It's very relaxing. I tell you what, when things are really busy and a bit manic, Fairy Hug stamps are just brilliant, because you can just lose yourself, especially if you're pattern building. What is this, the black? No, I know what I'm like. Yeah, pattern building, I just love that. We'll do a little bit of that if we've got time. In fact, I did so much pattern building on whichever day of the week it was. It's irrelevant which one, that my finger was really sore from pressing on my stamping platform for so long. So that's your icebergs. So we've got the icebergs in the scene. They look, actually they're quite interesting if they're that way up as well. Right, so next we're going to have our fairy. Let's go around this way again so we're not faffing around too much. And this is our Iceland. And she's going to be stood. She's just come down. Let's do her there, and then we can put something else there if we wanted to. So let's have her there. And then we might have a walrus either side. They could be her bodyguard walruses. A bit sad Sandra, I'll have to laugh at my own jokes. Right, so where are we? What should we have? Let's have Bluebell, which isn't dark, but isn't really light. Obviously still sticking with Versafire and Clear because they're the juiciest. And kind of fits with the snowflakes. Squeak, 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 squeak. It's my desk that's squeaking. Fabulous. Isn't she fabulous? She's just absolutely wonderful. Let's get rid of me. Isn't she beautiful? You don't need to do anything with her at all. She's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And that's just one stamping, so I haven't had to do it again. I could do, but I don't need to. So that's Iceland. And she's very different from any of the other fairies. When we had our winter release last year, we didn't have a fairy like this. She's very special. Right, so that's Iceland. She's going to go over there. Back in the packet. And let's have her entourage. I mean, you could have dancing penguins. You can have dancing penguins all the time. But let's have one of the walruses. In fact, we can have a walrus either side. So we can have one on this side of her. And we can have one on this side of her as well. I do feel like that's floating a little bit, so we might have to do something with that. But there again, that's what it is. It's coming up out of the water. That's what so it doesn't need any land. That's what it is. Okie cookie. So let's stamp these guys. I think we'll do these in grey as well. Not blue. Definitely not blue. Not black, grey. So this is your morning mist again. On my list, I like to hear about my UK customers making lists. Excellent. So who's Cosmic Fairy? Who's Cosmic Fairy? Tell me who Cosmic Fairy is. Do I recognise you as one of my regulars? I'm going to go again. He's a bit light, so I'm going to go again. Probably because he's on a darker background. So I'm just going to go again. Some of my customers do stay up until midnight. There's like a rush of customers between midnight and 12:30, and then it's all quiet until about 7 o'clock. But you see, you know, I haven't ordered massive quantities of some of them, because you never know, you know, what people are going to buy. But I can always reorder. So if you do find that I've got it completely wrong, because I always do get it completely wrong, and you know, you're there on Saturday morning and what you want isn't available because I've sold out, don't panic, because you can just click on the email when available button. And I normally order from Fairy Hugs once or twice a month. So as soon as that item comes back in stock, then you'll get notified. If you don't click on the email when available button, you won't know, will you? So that just about fits. Just about fits. I think it's straight. Let's have a look. probably was straight and now it isn't. I want it a bit further away from the wing. Okay, lovely. And we do that in black. You can still party, but yes, you can in the Fairy Hug store, absolutely. But of course, I only ship to UK addresses, so that's the trouble when we have an early show. So when we've got like a 9 AM show tomorrow morning, it's too early really for our American friends. And it's I prefer like the 3 PM and 7 PM. They fit my moves so much better. Okay, I'm happy with that. So all I would do is actually on this, I think that would be it. I'd just edge it with a little bit of ink and then mat it onto my white card and then my blue card. And I'd probably add a little bit of white gel pen onto the icicles, or a bit of clear glaze pen as well. So I think, yeah, I'm happy with that. That works for me. Do you want to go out? Do you? So I'm not talking to Nathan, I'm talking to the cat. Alright. Who's this? Who's this? Yeah, I can't do it now though, can I? Yeah, do you know you're on YouTube and Facebook? Come on, Ed. Not on the camera. I'll let him out. He'll probably claw at the door now. That was our Ed. It was Ed, yeah. He's probably thinking about his stomach again. I did feed him, bless him. He's been under the bed. That's where he likes to be all the time. Unless he's sitting on my desk looking out the window. Right, so that's 2. We've done 2. So, okay, let's go to another scene. So, not too sure where we're going with this one, but it'll evolve as they always do. So this is a paper from your Frost Flight. Remember, Frost Flight is the one that's being released tomorrow. And oh, what's happened there? How did that come up? I can see a comment on here from Facebook. Why is that there? Oh God. Oh, hang on, Ed's at the door. What do you want? You're either in or out. Oh no! I can see the comment too. Where's it come from? Isn't that weird? Are we still moving? Yeah, we're still moving. That's going to be in the way, isn't it? Oh, gosh. Don't you just love it? That's on there. It's still there. It's always there. What have you done, Caroline? Is it you or is it me? Oh, I bet I know what it is. It's something that Ed's hit. That's what it is. Hang on, let me just move the camera. Let's see if that gets rid of it. Yeah, Ed hit a button. Hopefully that will disappear in a second, because the stream is, I think, it's not gone, has it? We might be stuck with that. I'll just plow on. I'll just plow on. I think it is. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I don't know why that's there. Such is life. Right, so this is from the Frostbite paper pad. Again, 216 GSM, and this is the paper that we're going to use this time. Oh, blinking cats! You're either in or you're out. Nathan, can you see to the cats? I kicked him out. He's digging up the carpet. Can you put him in the kitchen? Oh dear, this is live. Right, so let's get rid of that. He probably wants a treat. He's not having one. Right, so we've got a plan with this one. We're going to use Quilo. So it didn't make any difference, did it, me doing that? So I'm going to use Quilo. And I think we're going to put Paloma on his back, because she will fit on his back nicely. So I think we're going to do that. That's so getting on my nerves. It's really getting on my nerves. And we're going to use the Rugged Pines as well, which is the set of 3 scraggy trees, if you like. And we'll see if we can use the Northern Lights, and we might bring some snowfall. So that's the idea. So let's crack on and let's see what we're going to do with this. So it looks like we've got a bit of land going on here, but I think I might want a little bit more land. So let's just get torn pieces of card and a green tool. And we're going for Rustic Wilderness. That's really getting on my nerves. I can't figure out how to get rid of it. Don't know. It's bugging me a lot. But I don't want to start again. So we've got a bit of Rustic Wilderness here. And we just got a torn piece of watercolour card. Bog standard, not the good stuff. And we're just going to add a bit of a ground to it. And then we're going to just turn it a little bit maybe, or over, or move it, or something, or use another one. What's up here? I don't want that one. Faff. I'm not happy. Let's have that one. There we go. That's what I want. And we're going to just add a little bit more, and this will be lighter, and just behind it. Oh, that's too light. Let's go again. I've been using these forever. So now we've got some, you can't even see, can you? Now we've got some background going on. Do you mean your face, Caroline? I can't see a face on that. I can see your face. If anybody knows how to get rid of that, tell me, because I don't know how to get rid of it. Can you imagine our Philip if he had that? It'd be Julia, how do I get rid of that? I haven't got a clue. Definitely it was Eduardo's fault. I'll blame him. Right, let's get into our stamping platform. all right. That's all right, Grace. No problem. Oh dear, snort. Oh dear, it's so funny. Oh, hilarious. So we've got Quilo. It's definitely a first. And he's going to go on the kind of bottom. So he's going to go on the landscape, the darker area. He's going here. He's a very regal looking chap. And he's a little unicorn. And let's have him in black. Don't want grey or black. I have just re-inked this. I've gone through a whole re-inker since I first had them in stock, which isn't too bad actually, considering how many ink pads I have to replace normally. So if you need a Versafine Claire Nocturne re-inker, you'll find them on my website. No, it hasn't gone off my screen. It's something that Ed's hit. Note to self, don't pick the cat up. Hang on, let me just move my my thingy, what's it? There we go. Okay. That's all right, Jennifer. Don't worry. Yeah, it's on my end. It's me. There's Quilo. I think I am going to just do him again because I want him a little bit darker around his body. Let's hope that didn't move. If it did, we'll be turning the paper over. But I want to use this side, so fingers crossed. Yes, that'll do. Good. So I have actually got a mask for Quilo as well. It's always a difficult one to decide whether to. You could stamp Paloma first, and then mask her, and then put Quilo around her, or you can do it this way, or you can just stamp her on top because she's going to hide some of him anyway. Should we try? Let's just try masking him and just see what it looks like. If I don't like it, it's always in place. I can just go again. I know, I saw Jennifer. Did see that. Jennifer's ordered the new colour of distress from me. I did think I was going to have to put the prices up because they did say that Ranger's prices were increasing, but they've come through at the same price. Because I don't make very much money on distress at all. It's more for you guys really. So Quilo, he's going to have his mask on. It's quite delicate, so just give me a chance to line him up. So again, ideally this would be dry ink that you're putting your mask on. If it comes up a bit, it's because it's not dry. And I've folded over the unicorn bit. Right, so we're going to get Paloma, who's the fairy that sits down. And we're going to pop her on here. But you won't see part of her. I don't know whether that's the right way around to do it, because you could just do it like that, as is, without the mask, and then add some colour to her. So she might look a bit odd, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Because I didn't do it like this when I did it before. Let's just anchor his feet. Oh, she's pulled the blooming mask off. Reseat it. Because it's not dry, it's movable. There we go, Quilo. You're a handsome man, aren't you? Very handsome horsey unicorn. Right, Paloma, here we go. Ed will be thinking, they put me in the kitchen, and I normally only come in the kitchen at night when I've just been fed, and I only normally come in the kitchen when they're going to give me a treat and then go outside, because I have to lock him in there when I go outside. And there's no treat because Nathan won't have given him a treat. But I can't have him putting the carpet up. I know, exactly. Bonnie's saying if the mask doesn't work, you can always take it off and stamp again. I know. It's good, isn't it? You're going to pull the mask off, Paloma. All right, yeah. I think I'm happy with that. Oh, just a bit of a shoulder. Shoulder. Get your shoulder on, missus. I'll probably do a bit there as well, because it'd be a different bag. That's a bit I want. That's better. Okay, so there she is. Now we're going to do some trees around them. So what I've done is I've actually done... So I've fetched it up now. I'm committed now, right? If it looks odd, it looks odd. At the moment it looks okay, but then the mask isn't off. Right, so that's Quilo and what's it? So I've done a mask for Paloma. This is all optional. You don't have to do all this if you don't want to. So I've done one for her because she's got beautiful wings and I don't want to mess her wings up. So I can get the back off. There we go. And see if I can get it over. She's got like a crown on her. So I haven't cut out the wispy bits. I'm just more concerned about her beautiful wings. Like that. So that's going to go on there like that. So now we're going to do the rugged pines around them. Well, Jennifer, you were late to the party. I don't know where your late note is, actually. But you were late to the party. I was saying earlier that there's a new demonstrator for Fairy Hugs. She's starting tomorrow. She's a good friend of mine. Her name is Tanya. And I've known her for a long time. And she is going to be demonstrating for Fairy Hugs tomorrow. I'm going to be in the studio just to support her. I'm not planning on going on air unless it's just too much for her. So I'm there as backup, that's all. She's going to be absolutely brilliant. She's got some fantastic ideas. I've no doubts whatsoever that she's going to do a great job. So that's tomorrow. So we're going to have, this is the biggest of the rugged pies. Let's just stamp this one first. And we're going to go for this one in, we'll go pine cone, I think. So this is your dark brown. Bonnie's just said maybe Ed would be able to figure out how to get the comments off. I'll ask him. What did you press, Ed? You wouldn't think that the screen on my phone would be responsive to ginger cat fur, would you? Oh dear, it's hilarious. Why is that not stamped? Yes, that's better. It does need to be done again though, because it's a bit light. Oh, not black, Julia, brown. Like I was saying though, a lot of them will be at the Peterborough show. It's Catherine and Adam who are doing Tanya's shows at 9 and 3 tomorrow. It will be nice to see the producers though that I do know that are there, that are doing her show. what else? Because Leonie's in India with Indigo Blue. Unfortunately, I couldn't go on that trip because of my knee. I hope to go next year though, next October. And Paola is in South Africa at the moment, so they're down quite a few people at the moment. So let's see if we can do. Let's go this way again. So there's our one rugged. They're brilliant, these rugged pine cones. So useful. This set. So let's have another one over here. So remember, we've masked off here, but let's have another one of the big ones over here. I'm taking my time with this, so I know you might have to dip in and out, some of you, but you know, it's always there on YouTube for you to watch whenever, you know. So when you've got your stamps, if you order from Crate & Craft, obviously you're going to have to wait a little while. I think it's normally 10 days, and then you can just watch whenever you want to, which is cool. No, Bonnie, the Fairy Hug shows won't be shown at the off-site event, as far as I know, unless they do stream on a big TV. I'm really not sure. I mean, how many people they'd have go to a show and just sit and watch the TV? I don't know. It's a little bit different when they sit and watch a live TV going out and being in the audience for that. That's different to just sitting and watching the TV that they could do at home. So I doubt very much that that they would do. You know, I won't be doing any camera work. Squeak, 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 squeak. Hopefully this won't fetch the mask off. It's not a problem, but I hate having to put it back on again. Right, so let's just press a little bit by where the mask is. You can always go in with a, that's better, you can always go in with a brown pen if you've got there's a brown Pigma Micron pen that you can use, which is really quite handy. And the dark blue, there's all sorts of colours with the Pigma Micron pens. Just go in again because I want it darker. On this occasion, I mean, I've done this before, and when I did this one, I did actually stamp behind a Quilo as well. Caroline's in the way still. But on this one, I don't think I will. I think I'll just have it like they're in the clearing. But what I will do is do some second generation stamping as well. So for that, what we're going to do is fetch it off here a minute. And I think we'll go for this medium one. See to that in a sec. Because we're giving the impression that some of these are, there's the camera again, giving an impression that some of these are in the distance. So we want them to be lighter. So we're going to stamp one of these, I think about there. Okay, so we're going to ink up with our pine cone, and you can see already you stamp it off, but not kind of heavily. So we're only just going to press and then stamp and then really press this one. Okay, so then you're in the distance like that. And I think we go for a smaller one just here, which we've not used before on this particular project. That's where you get your fingers really mucky. Right, I'm going to just stamp it off first of all, and then I'm going to stamp, and then I'm going to ink it again and stamp it off again, because I've not used this one in this project. And then that one's going to go just behind Quilo. Like that. Okay. So, I think we're nearly done with this one. How long have we been going? An hour and a half. That's not bad, is it, for 3 projects and 20 minutes run through of the samples. It's a good job we ran through all the samples, or the majority of them, before Caroline decided to stay on the screen. I know it's not your fault, Caroline. I do know it's me. But I don't know what I've done to cause it. I think last time I did something and I hit a button, I didn't know what had caused it, and it took me, I don't know, a few minutes to sort out what that was. The thing is, you get to know how to work the bits that you need to know. So as soon as something goes wrong, it's something that's happened that hasn't happened before, so you don't know how to fix it. Right, so there's our rugged pines. I think the rugged pines are going to be really, really popular. So now we can take off. I mean, we could bring in snowflakes and add some snowflakes on here. Might do actually. No, I don't think this is going to be a winter scene. I'm going to not do that. So we've got Paloma. Hopefully she's going to look on all right on here. See, her wings lovely and clean there. Because we masked her off. Hopefully this is going to look all right. And then we take Quilo's mask off. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad at all, actually. It looks like she's got her legs on the other side of him. That's what it looks like. Because if you were inking like Bonnie's done, so on Bonnie's one, let's find it for you. This one. See, Bonnie's added, she's gone over with her pencils, and so you can see that there's definitely Paloma sitting on top of Quilo, so that definitely works. But I'm quite happy with this. I'm okay with it. So let's get in fact, I tell you what we'll do. Let's do something with the Northern Lights on the top. Press that button. Right. So what I've done is, and because the Northern Lights, you know, Northern Lights have normally got lots of different colours, haven't they? So let's just grab what I want first of all. I want that. Let's grab those. Yeah, normally they've got colours, and so obviously if you're using papers and things, you can just figure, you know, fit in with the colours on the paper. So, but what I've done is to just show you another idea, because you can use the Northern Lights the way they're meant to be. So they're meant to be that way up, but you can use them that way as well. So I've used, you can't see, can you, because of Caroline? I've used, in fact, let me get you a proper sample so you can actually see. I can move it then. Here we go. So I put Iceland, and I put the Northern Lights that way. So she's stood on the end of it. So you can absolutely use them that way if you want to. You don't have to use them the way they're meant to be. But what I've done is I've actually just created masks here, so I can use them either way. And I've cut along that line. So, and I've numbered them as well, so I know that that one goes with that one, so I know which stamp it goes with. That's the idea anyway. So I know that that's that one. So this helps you decide, or this helps you decide which ones you might want to use. So, but I might want to just have, I don't know, perhaps that one, and that one's number 2. So I can find the number 2 that I've cut out, which I didn't actually cut out very much of. And this is the bit that I want to ink up from. It'll all be clear in a second, hopefully. So if you peel this mask off, and I know that I want to have perhaps the Northern Light coming in there, So we can take our mask and roughly in the same place put it. It's not essential. And then we can take, let's have a bit of yellow. So we're bringing a bit of mustard seed. Try not to go over the edge. Like so. And then we can have another colour as well. Let's have some orange, that is. And let's have pink. Pink. That's pink. It's like pickled raspberry, as Ali would say. Bonnie, I think it's just that Ed hit something and I don't know what it was. So this is just a little bit of picked raspberry, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that in there as well. Okay, I could go up a bit higher actually. Right, so when you take off the mask, you're left with that, and we're going to stamp over that bit. It might be a bit of a cockeyed way of doing it, but it works for me, so I've just passed this on to you. So if you want to do this, then you can do, can't you? And we'll have another one as well, because it'd be rude just to have one. So let's have, so we're going with, which one we're going with? We're going with that one. And I think we might have this one here as well, which is, I think that's number 3. Yeah, that's number 3. So we need this one. So we'll have number 3 coming in like that. Like that, I think. And we'll go back to the yellow. Yeah, bonnet. So yeah, so a bit of a mask as well. Yeah, absolutely. So again, we're going with a bit of yellow. And a bit of the pink. The bright ones on. Pickled raspberry. And if you can get it actually to streak a bit, that would be even better. Okay, so that's they. And leaves a defined line then, and then we can go into our stamping platform. So we want number 3 and number 2. Put those over there a second. Into the way. I think that's the 3rd time I've hit the camera, aside from the one when Ed hit it as well. He's so big, that's the trouble. It's a big pussycat. He'll be sitting downstairs on the table, sulking. That'll learn you, Ed. Right, so let's go grey on this, because we don't want them to be really prominent. And we're at, which one did we do? We did number 2, which is this one. So you can roughly do it. Let me slow it so I can see where I'm at. And then we've got to this, which one did we do? That one. See that one? Yes. That one. So that the other mask helps you figure out which of the stamps you're dealing with. So it's just really useful. That's going to go off the end a bit, so I'm going to have to change my orientation. So I can go in the corner. Not that it, I mean, these stamps don't have to be perfect, and the likelihood is that you wouldn't want to do it a second time anyway, because it's more of a suggestion of the Northern Lights rather than being something that's really well defined. Having said that, they're really quite detailed stamps with the little droplets. They're a bit similar to the droplets that you've got coming off of the icebergs as well. So my placement isn't 100%, but it doesn't really matter, because obviously I'm a bit cock-handed, but you can see you've got your Northern Lights going on. So let's just add a sentiment to that, and then that one will be finished. There we go again. I ought to be using the non-slip mat really rather than this one. So I think we'll probably pop the Winter Wonderland because they're going for a walk, aren't they? So I think that one's very appropriate. That one, I don't want that one. Put this one here. And this one. Do be careful with these stamps. Don't be too rough with them. I mean, they are photopolymer stamps manufactured in the US. They're very good quality. Never had a problem with any of them. But just be careful that you don't tear them. I've only torn one, and that was my fault. Absolutely my fault. So let's have just this up here in the corner, I think. We could have it down there, but I think up there might be better. Walking in the Winter Wonderland, it says. And I think they are. They're having a nice little stroll. We do that in the Nocturne. And we do one more. We'll finish off with a bit of pattern building using the Rotate Mate, because it's lots of fun and you can do it with virtually anything, and it's just really cool. There we go. Here's our sentiment. So this one is just going to go on a piece of black card. Obviously I colour her wings in. Obviously I can't show you the whole thing very easily, can I, because of Caroline. So yeah, okay, so that's that one. So let's just get rid of Winter Wonderland. Where did I put it? There it is. Dirty fingers. This is where I get, it drives me, actually when I'm pattern building, that's when I get the most dirty fingerprints all over things, and it drives me nuts. Absolutely nuts. Right, so it's whether we go for 5" or 4". That's the question. So we're going to use the Mama Mate's Rotate Mate from all the W's, mamamakestore.co.uk. Do if you're going to buy one, do buy it directly from Lottie rather than through the TV. It's always better if you can always buy from the small retailers, obviously, but of course she's got to do well in the shows as well. So it's like swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it? So I thought we'd use decisions. We can either, I tell you what, you tell me. Would you like me to use polar bears, penguins, or walruses? And I know what you're going to say, so I'll get them out anyway. Because they all work really well. I think we'll go 5-inch. So with the rotate mate, while I'm waiting for you, with the rotate mate, you've got, it fits into all of your sort of 8x8 and size ones. It doesn't really work in the small one of these. This is too, I think this is too small. Let me just check. I'm telling you poor, because yeah, that's too small. So that's the smaller one of the Stamp Perfect. It doesn't fit in that, but we work on the big one, and obviously it works on the Stamp to Impress. Of course, obviously penguins. Obviously, what do you think I put on my desk? Penguins. Polar bears for a change. Well, I'm sorry, Sue. You're in the minority. Let's open that blind a bit. Let's have a bit more light now. I have done polar bears. I did share polar bears. There's two. Here's two with polar bears. There's that one, and then there's that one that I've done so far. You could mix and match. So with this one, you could do alternate. So you could use this little one, and you could have it in between that one rather than them all being the same. So you could do that. It's just a lot of fun, really. So yeah, so with the rotate mate, you get 2 pieces. So you've got a 5-inch piece, and that's going to go in your corner. So this is going to work with any 5x5-inch piece of the card. If you want to do a 4x4, you can do a 4x4 by putting this other piece that you get in the kit in, and you use that instead. But we're going to, let's go for 5x5. You can always trim it down afterwards, but you need to commit to one of those sizes. I did think it was quite expensive, I must admit, but it's so useful, and you do get things really accurate, which is easier than doing it by eye. I've done a few, so I've shown you my penguins already. I've shown you my polar bears. You can also do it, this is by eye, right? So this is your frozen swirl, and this isn't even because this is by eye, because 6 of them fitted around the edge. In order to use Lottie's tool, you need to have 8 around, really, and then that would just overlap too much. So I've done that by eye, so it's not even, but it's possible. But what you can also do by using Lottie's tool is you can actually make that, and that is actually using the frozen swirl as well, but that's kind of like nose to tail all the way around 8 times. So it's using the tool as is, just with a sentiment in the middle. So that's quite a cool mandala. I wasn't sure when I started it. I thought, not sure I'm going to like this, but I did carry on, and it was absolutely fine. So and I've also done one with that's Elsa, one of the snowmen or snow ladies, and I've also done the walruses as well. That kind of works as well. I don't know anything about Pearlywinks, I'm afraid, Chrissy, so I can't tell you if it's the same tool as that. I think Mama Makes one was out first. If it's the same, I just don't know. So what you do is you just butt your card up in the middle there, and it's right in that piece there, and it's right in that corner there, so it's nice and secure. You only really need 1 magnet. So then you need to decide what penguins you're going to use. Let me have a look, see what I've used, and I'll use something different. So I've used that one, and I know I've used that one. So we need to use one of these 3, so we've got something different. Oh, you didn't see that. I've used that one, and I've used that one, so I'm going to use one of these 3. I think he's going to be quite cool, this one. That one. I think that one's going to be quite cool. So first things first, I'm going to take this out for a sec. I've got a scrap piece this is a scrap piece. You can see where I've been playing. You didn't see what was on the other side then. I get hung. Right, so this is a scrap piece. So this is a good thing to do to figure out your placements. Oh, that sun's in my eyes now. Gosh. This is a good thing to do for your placements. So I decided on him tonight. And you need to make sure that if you put, obviously, if you put it up in the corner there, if you then rotated it, then it's going to be off of the edge there. So you need to bear that in mind. So what's quite a cool thing to do, what you could do with doing is having it like that, picking it up. Oh, what's going on here? Pick it up. This, oh, no, this isn't mylar, this one. Oh, theirs is made out of mylar. This is a lot more robust, this. Right, so I've positioned him in the corner. I'm just going to move it. I'm going to move it on 2. So it's moved on 2 spaces. So I've missed that space. I've moved on 2. So I want to check that his head is going to be on the card, and it is. So I think that's going to work. So let me just check that I'm happy with it, and we're going to do it in black. It is worthwhile having a scrap piece, because you can use this scrap piece and you can, like with this piece here, I've stamped over and over, and this is one that's coming up on Saturday, but I've tried to get the placement, so it's a good idea just to have a scrap piece that you can do that with. So let me just, I'm not going to stamp them perfectly. I'm just going to move 2 again back to there and just check that I'm happy with how it looks. You can always put extra little things in between them, because if I wanted to just do one, so if I only went 1, then they'd overlap, and I don't think I'm going to like that. No, I'm not going to like that. I can tell that from straight look. Although it does look as if they're doing, you know, that that Russian dance, that Malinka Maya, whatever it is, Svadu Yagada, Malinka Maya, that one. Looks like they're doing that. They're doing the Russian dance around. So, but I don't want them to be doing that. But you could do that. That would work. Or we can do them separate, so that we've got a gap. So if I went 2, I've got to go 2 now, aren't I? 3, that one. I went it that way. This is just me figuring it out. So that's the gap. So if you wanted to have it less, what you could do is you could go down to a 4-inch, and you might be able to get them closer together. So let's have a look just at the 4-inch, just because we can, and I've got time. So let's just use this scrap here. So, oh, we're on a 4-inch. Oh. So let's go on a 4-inch. Put this here. I'm not going to bother cleaning him. So we just want to check that he's going to fit. Like that. Dirty fingers. So he's going to fit there. So then if I went 2, and on this one I'm using the line there to line it up. Where's my ink pad? I think we might do a 4-inch. I think that's going to work better for those two, because they are closer together. You can figure, get my teeth in. You can fiddle around with it quite a bit, actually, because then this is what, I know I'm faffing, this is what playing's all about. So you could bring him down ever so slightly, because you're bringing him down slightly, like that. We go over this side. I must clean my fingers before I do the proper thing. Yeah, it would be cute with an umbrella. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got the umbrella from Ginger's Tropicals, haven't we? So now if we go over to, we're going back on ourselves here, which is fine. So let's see if they're holding hands now. This is the fappy bit. If you want them to hold hands. Oh, yes, look. That'll do. That'll do. Right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a 4-inch and we're going to do them in exactly that position. So that's why it's really cool to have these scrap pieces of paper to actually play with and get your placements. There's nothing wrong with having it on the 5-inch how we had it before. But you can get a better placement, a better idea if you have a play first. Right, so this is where we're going. So we're going into that one first, and we're going to have that there. I've cleaned my fingers as best I can, and we're going to go and stamp now properly. And then we're going to move 2. You have to move 2 every time because it's a bigger stamp. You're going to sometimes you're going to move 1 if you were doing small stamps. So if you wanted to do one that just had, say, the sparkle dust on, which is just a collection of little stars, you might do it, and it's a tiny stamp. It's the one that I've used in the centre there. If you did that loads of times, you might want to go every 1 rather than every 2. This is where, because I'm doing that, that's where I get sore fingers. And then we're going to go 2 into that one there. It's very, very therapeutic. And then you go another 2. Is that a dirty mark? Honestly, I'm driving myself nuts with these dirty marks. Another 2 in the corner. These are great little Christmas cards because you're only dealing with a 4x4-inch piece here. You can, of course, if you wanted to, once you've finished your stamping, you could get one of your circle dies and maybe cut it out if you wanted to, or even just trim it down a little bit more so it does go on a 4x4-inch card. Did I not? I didn't even put my magnet on. Oh, I did. There it is. So we're going here now. Let's have that magnet then. Why don't I just get the other one out? I'm not sure because I've got a piece of MDF under here. I'm not sure if Phil's non-slip mat will actually work on my MDF under here. It might do. They're so cool, aren't they? They're such good fun. And that's what it should be about, you know. It should be about fun. And you really see it when you hover halfway through, you do see the design kind of, you can see the end result. Okay, so Bonnie's saying on she's on Facebook. Bonnie's saying that she bought an extra set of the fairy flower accessories stamps, and she's cut the bows off to use with the dancing stamps. That makes sense because you can, that makes sense. And then she uses the presents with the frogs, and she's done a wonderful sample. So you'll find it on the Fairy Hug Store Facebook group. Remember, it's here. That's not that one. It's that one. On the Fairy Hug Store's Facebook group, where she's got the frogs decorating the decorating tree, and they've got loads of, they're standing on presents and things, aren't they, Bonnie? It's such a cool card. So if, like I say, if you're not already a member, if you missed the beginning of this, the Fairy Hugs US design team, their samples won't be at the studios this time, but you can see them. They're all they're sharing them gradually. There's quite a few been shared already on the Fairy Hugs store group, and also if you go into media, the media tab on that group, and click on albums, you'll be able to see the album from the last release and what's in the album for this current release as well. So there's let's get rid of that. There's dancing penguins as a pattern. Isn't that cool? Yeah, okay, so Chris is saying it won't work on MDS, so I'm still going to kind of be flying around all over the place. Now, I don't know if we can get a sentiment in here or not, so we'll just have a look. Where's that Winter Wonderland? See if that will fit in here. I have a feeling it won't. Can't really tell, can I? Because my stamps are off kilter here. Let's have a look. Look, it just about fits. So let's do that then. Hang on. Get rid of my penguin. Aren't they cool? I mean, this one is totally different to the other two that I've done. So I've done that one and I've done that one. So this one is totally different, and it's just using one of the other penguins. It's just, it makes me happy. Oh, I've got dirty fingers again. Oh. I'm glad you can't see me licking my fingers here doing this and wiping it down the top. Let's put that on there and we do the sentiment. And I haven't got map done for this, but this is our last one. I have got another one that I was going to do, but it's just pattern building again, so we'll do this first. Let's pop this. In fact, I think I can see better with this. It gets dark so early now, doesn't it? Let's pop that. So I'm on the front of the sentiment now. See if I can get it to where I want it. I don't want it on a penguin. I think that's going to be it. Oh, but Jennifer, you're up in Scotland. Jennifer's saying she's put the heating on. I've had it on 3 times, but only for about an hour, and that was last month. I haven't had it on this month at all. And where I'm moving to, it's warmer, so hopefully I won't have it on. I should be able to cheaper bills, which is good, really, isn't it? Right. Let's ink that up, and we'll pop that in the centre. Let's hope this doesn't spoil it. Tight, but it works. Right, so we've managed to get it in, so obviously just mat it onto some black card and you're good. So that's all I'm going to do today, because I've got a lot of clearing up to do, and I'm going to pack my bag as if I was demonstrating, but I'm not, tomorrow, just in case Tanya's forgot anything, or if she needs anything, or if there's an emergency or whatever. I'm sure there won't be. She'll be absolutely fine. So just to restate that the shows are on Create and Craft tomorrow morning at 9 AM and also at 3 PM in the afternoon with Tanya, with her first ever shows ever. She's never done shows for anybody else. She has been in the craft industry for well over 10 years. She teaches classes. She has done some YouTube videos as well. She breeds the most beautiful cats, which has got nothing to do with stamping, but she has beautiful ragdoll cats. She's got some fantastic ideas for the new collection, and hopefully she can share those ideas with you. I'm trying to position these so you can see. You can't see them because of Chrissy's comment. So we've done 4, haven't we? So we've first of all we started with our dancing penguins, and we did some masking, and we've got the ice cubes in there as well, and the Field of Snow sentiment, and also the swirling snow stencil. Remember, there's 3 new stencils: the swirling snow, the fairy snowflakes, and the what's it called? The winter trees, winter something or other, winter twigs. Then we did this one. So we've got the ice cave, the icebergs, the walruses. We've got Iceland and the braver sentiment. And we've got this one with the rugged pines and the northern lights and Paloma and Quilo and the Winter Wonderland. And then just a little bit of fun at the end with our pattern building as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's been useful. If you're not already a subscriber of my YouTube channel, please subscribe and like and comment on a video so that YouTube don't think that you're spam. I will be back with a live on Sunday morning at 11 AM UK time for some Sunday stamping, and I imagine some of these stamps will appear, and I'll probably be using some Francoise's texture palette stamps as well, again, because I think they're going to work with, well, they'll work with anything. So the stamps will be live, so that'll be live demo at 11 on Sunday, and the stamps will be live on my website midnight tomorrow night. That's Friday the 21st of October for shipping to UK addresses. And yeah, good luck to Tanya. I'm sure she's going to be absolutely brilliant, and it would be lovely if you could email in some support to her as well if you get chance tomorrow. And I will see you on Sunday. Thank you for watching.